Hello and welcome. I'm Karen Ashton and welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about hopefully a motivational talk for you. I'm going to talk about how you can follow your dreams, pursue them, aim for the top, but always have a plan B, C and so on. If something doesn't work, change the way or what you're doing. If there's a hurdle, steamroller over it or go round it. It may take longer, but you'll get there in the end. Put your big girl pants on, or boys, and show up. Everyone has their flaws. Here I'm going to expose myself to some of my flaws. I have a lack of self-confidence. I suffer from anxiety. I have massive pockets of it where I put my hubster through his paces. I comfort eat. I have rubbish sleep patterns. I don't look after myself properly. I'm too generous for my own good. I can be really stubborn. I can be argumentative, but don't tell the hubster. I'm ridiculously short and people still make snide comments about it. Yawn, I've heard it all before. I'm too sensitive, as you can tell. I'm allergic to dust. I have arthritis at an age that's too young to be having to deal with hip replacements. But here's a bit of my background. I left school with rubbish grades, and now my boys have left school, I can actually confess to them that I didn't get where I am today through any of my school grades. Today I run a training school for massage, beauty, complementary therapies, for those who don't know. I went to college and dropped out because I found the subject boring. Business studies, oops. Okay, Connor, my son, you do take it after me. I bought a house at the age of 18 and moved in with my partner on my 19th birthday. Oh, that was a really scary moment, and I think the day I moved in, I cried. I was then later on made redundant. It took several weeks to find another job, and the financial side of things was really scary, but I did, and I fell into another accounts job and worked my way up. Couple of years later, handed in my notice, sold my house, lost a lot of money due to recession, and then moved away from all my family and friends to Swindon from Bideford in Devon, where I set up a drainage company with my partner. Being away from my friends and family was tough and I got depressed. My partner was out on site working 7 days a week and I was stuck at home doing all the admin and accounts. We had no life. I became so unhappy and my partner and I broke up and he bought me out the business. I used that money to buy myself a decent car and spend a year travelling the States. Amazing experience, and I visited 48 states in 11 months. When I came back home, I took another 6 to 12 months out to study a level 2, 3 and 4 accounting. Then found myself a job as an accounts and office manager, which I absolutely loved. But I wanted my own business. My bosses were amazing, and for someone who wanted to be their own boss, they pretty much left me to it. But this is where I set up my essential oil business and trained as an aromatherapist. My training was not that great, so I later continued my training elsewhere and built up my skills over the years. Set up my holistic therapies business and later holistic therapies training, as I qualified as a further education teacher. I did all this on a shoestring because by then all my business payout had gone. I hope my dad's not listening to this. Eek. My husband and I broke up and I raised my 2 boys as a single mum for 9 years before I eventually let someone into our lives. My husband now has taken on the amazing role as stepdad, although my boys are now 20 and 18. But during this 9 years, me and my boys relocated from Swindon back to Devon, and I relocated the training business too. Pretty much started from scratch again, but I also kept it going in Swindon to give me an income. I took out a mortgage on my own this time, and that was really scary. I've had times where I've had great earnings, where it's enabled me and the boys to go on a spur of the moment holiday to Cape Verde, or sometimes not having enough money to pay the bills. And then my marketing would kick in to raise the income. But I kept going even when I wanted to quit. I didn't quit. Who's heard the song I Get Knocked Down? I think that became my theme song for a while. I played the victim for sympathy and I soaked up drama. Now I hate drama and refuse to put myself in victim mode, and I get peopled out easily, so I have to take myself away for some me time. It's not been easy and I've nearly given up so many times. My workload has been so great at times that I've had meltdowns, burnt out and wanted to quit. I've collaborated with some really unethical people who've tried to break me, and I've lost my way, and most importantly my mojo. But what stopped me from quitting was remembering I had put my heart and soul into my business and wasn't going to let anyone grind me down. I've had people copy, but my answer would always be aspire to others for sure, but be your own authentic self, not a copy of others. I've modelled my business on others for sure, but I've taken bits and I've tweaked them to my own. Tried stuff, failed, tried stuff and succeeded. It's never going to be easy, but if you don't try, you'll never know, and you'll always have that what if moment. I've got arthritis and had a hip replacement. I'm now waiting on a second one, but during my recovery I wrote and published a book, so I turned a negative into a positive. I've written countless course manuals and blogs. I absolutely love writing. Now I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone to do podcasts and vlogs. I've studied since 2003 for this field of work, and I still study now. So if I can do it, so can you. If I had £1 for every time I said to myself, I don't have time to do this or I don't have time to do that. But the secret is you always make time for the things you really want to do. So as you can see, it's not been plain sailing. Even when I've been close to quitting, I've picked myself up, dusted myself off and got going again. So my parting message to you is to follow your dreams. If it stops being your passion, then go find another passion. It's never too late, and feel the fear and do it anyway. I hope this helps people to see that what you want is possible, even if the end point is slightly different to what you imagined. If you have setbacks, pick yourself up and keep going. If you find excuses, then maybe you just might not want it bad enough. Before my op in 2018, I had days where I could hardly walk without being in so much pain, and I hid this from many people. Only my hubster really knew what I was like. I'd have a day of teaching and then I'd have to go to bed and rest for the evening. Always have my laptop with me though, but to walk around was so hard. It was my optimism in life after my op that kept me going and knowing my limits and my body's limits. Now I'm waiting on my second op and all I can say is, let's do this. My final words today, I know I said earlier that those were my final words, but there's some more for you. Keep going, go for it. Whatever it is you want to do, stay strong and keep it real. So thank you today for listening, and I will see you soon.